I was just wondering if Sean was going to clap. If he don't clap, we don't have nobody clapping. I mean, welcome to the stage here, Miss Sharon Baker, Teleduction's Teleduction. That's before we go any further. I mean, you guys been out there doing it because we've talked many a times and known each other for years, and you and Frank, of course, kicked off and rotated right out of this to what you're doing.
Yeah, we were kind of the pioneers. Of course, hard to believe when I'm only 21 years old, but. We started together at the old Rollins Cablevision in 1973, where we were doing 28 hours of live local programming a week.
One camera, too.
One camera. and really, it was all sort of built around Frank's personality, which hasn't changed, really. He's still a very entertaining guy. And from there, we kind of evolved into a little company we called the Ad Couple, where we were writing jingles and commercials and so forth, and then, followed that interest into filmmaking and really evolved Teleduction. And then in 2002, the Hearts and Minds Film Initiative. So
yeah, before we get in that, because you guys, I got to give credit. There's a lot of awards and everything on Teleductions. I mean, you guys created a lot of independent films. I guess they would be documentaries, different things. We've captured a lot of awards over the years.
A lot of Delaware history, a lot of African American Delaware history, and it's been a wonderful learning experience along the way.
Yeah, and now we've kicked off, and has it been 2000 what now? 2002 you kicked off Hearts?
2002.
It doesn't seem that long, though.
I know.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
Tizzy doesn't look that old.
No, she didn't. Well, she's older than she is.
Yeah.
That's true.
That really was a natural outgrowth of all of our Teleduction projects. And, true to our beginnings, we still serve the nonprofit community.
Right.
In our work-for-hire kinds of projects, we work with many, many nonprofit organizations throughout the state and really beyond, but really here in Delaware. And, they would always come to us. The cause was always enormously worthwhile. They never had the money to do, what they wanted to do, and we always just did it anyway and added value. So in 2002, I said, really, we should formalize this so we can kind of go off in that direction, help people write grants and so forth, and focus on kids. And that's what we did.
And that's what you did, because I had an opportunity to go down and see Tizzy at work here, and and the kids really enjoy this. So let's talk about it. What all goes on.
What you guys are talking about is our Media Mentors summer program, and what we do with that is we bring some kids from the city through a couple of different organizations that we partner with, like the Neighborhood House in Southbridge and a couple of others, and we. What we do first is we bring some college students from Delaware State University. Sharon teaches down there.
Right.
And we give them a week of master classes with some professionals from the film industry that we work with in New York and Philadelphia. And then that's the first week of the camp, and then the second week is when we bring in these younger kids from the city that I mentioned, and the college students basically pass on the knowledge that they've learned to the younger students, and they produce socially focused
they get together,
media.
they put together, I was watching them put together a kind of a miniature movie, I guess.
Oh, sure. They become the teachers. We were looking for an institutional partner, and we partnered up with Delaware State University. I do some film classes there, documentary and cinema. And then from that group of students, we take the ones that are really passionate about maybe becoming independent filmmakers. They come in, as Tizzy said, do the master classes. But then year-round now, we've extended the program, and she runs the program year-round during the school year.
On monthly Saturdays.
On monthly Saturdays.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so you got it going year-round now. But some other things, I want to get everything in here. You guys have got so many things going on out there. Because you're talking about a 2010 film festival already?
That's our fifth. Oh my gosh. It's our 5th annual Hearts and Minds Film Festival, which we do also in partnership with DSU down in Dover at the Schwartz Center for the Arts. And what we do there is we're trying to highlight small independent filmmakers. We call them super independent films sometimes. And we usually showcase about 24 short and feature-length films that touch on social issues like health issues, economic issues.
And you're looking for entries right now, I guess.
We just opened the call for entries.
Yeah.
So if people visit our website.
Let's try to keep Daps in the booth till after we finish the show.
But, Tizzy really manages the intake on that, and we use a system called withoutabox.com that independent filmmakers all know. And we get on average about 200 films in from all over the world.
Yeah.
And of course,
there's a lot of filmmakers out there. Say it's becoming like musicians. I always say, you know, it's, somebody's going to become a star this year that we don't know, and it could be anybody, really. Yeah. And the same thing with the independent films today.
I think you're right. Our films that we solicit, though, have something to say about how we live and who we are as a people. So our mission really is to foster greater civic engagement through cinema. So to get films that motivate people to want to take action on whatever the subject is in their community.
Yep.
Excuse me, I was looking down here because Twin Poets, was that a movie or is that something new?
Well, every
Poets Society, what was that?
Dead Poets Society.
Yeah.
No, these are very much alive.
Yeah, so what is...
Well, I was going to say every 2 or 3 years we usually have a feature film that we develop and fund through our nonprofit side, and the current one we have going is a project about the Twin Poets, which I think Sharon...
It's called Why I Write. There are 2 community activists who happen to be also wonderful spoken word artists and poets. And they call themselves the Twin Poets. They're out of the Kingswood Community Center that their father, who was a social activist, sort of founded. And we've been documenting them for 2 years now, and their extraordinary work to use the power of the arts to reach the most underserved children living in the most difficult circumstances, and take those children and, you know, inform them and say to them, you know, you have value, you have a future, the world is your oyster, so forth.
Well, so, the main thing is, and you guys keep going back to it, and I say it nearly just about every show, is, you know, keeping kids occupied, giving them something to do, something they want to do. You've got sports out there, you've got all the different things, but there's that guy over there that doesn't really care for the sports and all that. This is a whole, because everybody wants to get into this business.
Oh, they're media crazy, the young people. But the Twin Poets really are, their devotion to community through the inspiration of their father is like nothing I've ever seen. They work almost 16, 18, 20 hours a day, 7 days a week for the children. And believe me, they were on HBO, Def Jam. You know, they could be living large and, you know, fully immersed in show business. But they said, no, we're coming back to Wilmington, Delaware, and we're going to work to save children. So we feel very privileged, Tim, to be telling their story.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, but you've told a lot of stories. I've seen a lot of your different works out there, and it's always telling stories, and especially Delaware history and everything. It's a pleasure always to have you over Teleductions. For more information, Tizzy, on all of it, they can go to what website?
Go to our website. It's www.heartsandmindsfilm.org.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, but you're probably like me, and we wouldn't know it.
No, she
well, you were saying you get on the internet a little bit now. So,
I do. She's
totally savvy.
She's our Twitter, Facebook, you know.
You can find all that on our website.
Ambassador into the new social media.
We all have to have those. I'm telling you.
Do.
I'm telling you, it's just excited to have you here. And once again, go to the website and check more out on Hearts and Minds Films and the Teleduction and thing. Congratulations on all your success, and I wish you a lot more. And just thankful for the time you've given us today.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you coming by, and it's always a pleasure to see you, Miss Dizzy. And you want to stay with us, and we're going to take a quick break. We'll come right back right after this. So put your hands together for Teleductions. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
To find out more about the Tim Hall Show and other positive promotion productions, then log on to our website at www.posprotv.com.